In 1983, one of the biggest video game companies in the world drove truckloads of unsold games into the New Mexico desert, crushed them, buried them in a landfill, and allegedly poured concrete over the evidence.
The game, so bad, they buried it. This is Analog Memes.
In 1982, E.T. wasn't just a movie. It was a full-blown phenomenon. Kids had the toys. Families had the posters. The alien was everywhere. And Atari, the biggest name in video games, looked at that craze and saw one thing: a gold mine. So, they did what companies still do today. They tried to turn a massive pop culture moment into a product. Fast. Atari secured the rights to E.T., the extraterrestrial, and raced to get a game onto store shelves in time for Christmas. The idea was simple. The movie was beloved, so the game would sell itself. There was just one problem. The game's designer, Howard Scott Warshaw, had only a little over 5 weeks to make it. Not 5 months, not a year. 5 weeks. What Atari was really selling wasn't quality, it was hype. This was one of the earliest blockbuster movie cash-ins. Take a cultural event, stamp it onto a cartridge, and hope the brand does the work. And for a second, that probably sounded brilliant. But when the game came out, players were confused. They wandered through strange screens, fell into pits, and struggled to understand what they were even supposed to do. E.T. quickly became infamous. But the bigger story wasn't just one bad game. Atari had overproduced cartridges across the board. Retailers were overloaded, the market was cooling, and the entire video game industry was heading toward a crash. Then came the detail that made the story legendary. In 1983, Atari sent truckloads of unsold inventory from a warehouse in Texas to a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico. Buried in the desert were copies of E.T. along with other games and hardware. Over time, the story became myth. People said Atari had buried millions of E.T. cartridges because the game was so terrible they wanted to erase it from history. For decades, it sounded too good to be true. Then, in 2014, archaeologists and a documentary crew dug into the landfill, and they found them. Dusty cartridges, broken boxes, old hardware. Yes, copies of E.T., but also other Atari games too. The legend was real, just messier than people imagined. And that's what makes this story so good. It wasn't only about a bad game. It was about a company trying to bottle movie magic, mass-produce it, and cash in before the moment passed. Instead, they created one of the most famous flops in gaming history. And today, one of those buried E.T. cartridges sits in the Smithsonian, which means the product Atari rushed out to exploit a movie phenomenon became the artifact that exposed the whole story. This was Analog Memes, stories that went viral before viral existed.